Hey guys, Bendy and Boris here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Bendy Jakks plushies that they were just recently made. Okay, so I'm going to start this one off with Bendy because, it's Bendy. It's the main character, so yeah. So this one has a completely different design from the Fat Mojo ones. Like the Jakks ones have like shoes now and actually have fingers compared to the other one. Here's the other Fat Mojo one for comparison. Like the Fat Mojo Heavenly Toys one. So you can see it's way different. One of the differences that I feel like is way better that's on the Fat Mojo one is that it's stitching and not just printed. Yeah, that's kind of a downside, kind of. I mean, the details on this one are way better than this one because, well, mainly because this plushie was based off of the Bendy 1 plushie, and then this one's based off of Dark Revival, of course. So that's why it looks like, it has boots compared to this one. I mean, all the other ones kind of didn't really have boots in the first place, the Fat Mojo ones. For comparison, I have the other cartoon Bendy right here. This one really didn't have feet either. This one actually they gave him feet. I think there is one Fat Mojo one that has feet. I might be wrong. I don't know, but this one has feet and has more, texturing on the gloves, but it's not stitched like the original one. And something else to note that I'm not sure if this is just mine or it's all, but the bow tie can move compared to this one, move upwards, where this one's just fully stitched on and kind of, easy to come off. That's how most Bendy plushies lost their bow ties and that. Compared to this one's pretty hard to get off. I don't know, I just got this one 2 days ago, so I don't know if it's easy or not, so I don't know, it seems harder, so. But yeah, the Bendy one in comparison, I would say this one's really good. It's a way different version from the original Fat Mojo ones. But there is a big difference compared to height-wise. For example, this one, if it stands, it'd be around, another thing I would also mention, how these ones do not stand, the Fat Mojo. Because of their big, back, butt size or whatever, that just kind of keeps them in place from sitting. The Jakks ones do not have that, so it's way harder just to keep them in place for sitting. I mean, you could do that, but it's way harder. That's what it's a downside compared to the Jakks ones. After a while you can get it too. It's not as easy as the Fat Mojo ones did, where they just sit like that. But yeah, height wise they are way bigger. This one can just stand there for a second. It's way bigger here. They're just completely bigger than another. I think this one is around the same height. Yeah, but again, it's way bigger than the other ones. So it's a big height comparison difference. So yeah, in general, I do feel this one is better than this Heavenly Toys one. So yeah, Jakks do get a win on this one. Next up is the Jakks Boris one. I am a big fan of this Boris one because, I don't know, it's just a way different design from how Fat Mojo's was. And this one I feel it's just feels more like the in-game Boris than just the cartoon one. I do not have the Heavenly Toys version of Boris, so I'll just be using the cartoon one for an example. They're pretty much the same, just a little bit of different on the snout wise, but yeah. But yeah, you could see they had a really different big change on the Fat Mojo and Jakks ones. where you could see like the overalls on this one were like, you know, stitched on, as this one were just kind of printed. So it saves the problem of your little like buttons on him falling off all the time, which was very common for like most Boris plushies to actually do. Or just the overalls always falling off here on the sides, the sewing, so it would like always fall apart. So these ones don't have that problem where it would just like fall apart, so I could not really see this one having much problems as the actual Boris one did, because the Boris one did have a bunch of problems, but yeah, this one definitely just took out all those problems. And again, same with Bendy, all the joints on this one, like it has more like, you know, movable like if choices, like if you're just gonna like act like, you know, just averagely just standing, it's more better because it's more in a standing pose, as this one's more in a sitting with the, again, big butt area so it can sit down, where this one is way harder to, like again, if you put it at an angle it will, just it's not like really meant to, it's supposed to stand really. But yeah, again, this one is really good. I really do like the Boris one, and I hope they do keep up this design of Boris because, again, I really do like it. Okay, now it's time for the Alice Angel one. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this one at all. It's just like, it's kind of bad, not gonna lie. Like, it's just personally just like kind of a flat plush, like most of the Sonic Jakks plushies they made in the past. It's kind of just basic and flat and just, again, printed. Which I don't like the nose because, again, it's printed and there is no like other design compared to the original Alice. If you get a side comparison on these, this one had like wasn't flat and had like a 3D nose. So the Fat Mojo one does take a better. And again, it's just a better one in general. And again, like I was saying, I do not have the Heavenly Toys one. I just have the Heavenly Toys Bendy or the Fat Mojo, but I am planning on getting the other ones in the future. So yeah. But this one I feel like does have better like, you know, like legs compared to this one where it's kind of just doesn't do that, and this one doesn't sit at all. Like no matter how much you try, it probably could if you put it at like a certain angle, but it just it's really bad at sitting, which this is the only one I could agree is good with sitting because it can actually sit compared to Alice over here, which can't. Yeah, because yeah, I think, I don't know, it's just too much weight on the head, I think. But talking about the head, they do have a neck on this one, and this one does not have a neck. That is a kind of like a disappointment on me for this one. And the hair feels like it's just nothing's back there, it's just flat. I don't know, I feel like they did kind of lazy on Alice Angel. It's really not the best. Like out of anything, it's not my favorite one out of them, probably like my least favorite. Hopefully they do upgrade it to have like a more 3D nose like the Fat Mojo ones did. But yeah, I was not a really big fan of this one when I found out it's like flat. That also it's like chin area is like so like big here. Like I feel like it should just be like that kind of, not so like up high. Like I feel like that's what it is, but like again, I feel like they should add a neck so it's not just so like that on the side, so it's so like flat looking. Yeah, but yeah, that's Alice Angel. And yeah, that's pretty much all the Jakks Bendy plushies. And so far I would say for their first wave they actually did pretty well. And like honestly, I feel like if they keep up this work with like the Bendy and Boris, how they did them, I think they might actually become like really well in the future. And like of course the joints are like, well, not joints or whatever, it's just like, you know, the movement you can do on these ones compared to the other ones, I feel like is way better compared to Fat Mojo's. So if they just keep this up and like do cartoon versions in that, like they would be like great for like actually using for my channel and that in general. But like for these right now, like they seem more like good for like if you're getting them, like if you're new to getting Bendy plushies, yeah, these would be like great for your new ones. But if you're like old like me that collect the Fat Mojos, it probably would be better to get the original Fat Mojos. But the Bendy one, yeah, it'd probably be best to get this. But if you're trying to get an Alice Angel one, yeah, it'd probably best to get the Fat Mojo one. This one is not the best out of anything. But yeah, the Bendy and Boris, yeah, they're really good. So it's basically up to you kind of what you would prefer. So I do prefer personally the Bendy and Boris. Of course, not the Alice, but yeah, compared to these ones, it feels more like, if you know, like realistic to the game compared to this, where it's just bendy ones and it just feels like Fat Mojo instead of actually game realistic. But yeah, Jakks. But if Jakks keeps this like style going, they might actually go like really well in the future. So far, I feel like Jakks is going on the right step of Bendy plushies, and if they keep this up, I might just might even use these as my main plushies. So yeah, I hope this helped you decide on getting these or not. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next review or plush video. See ya.